So you recently launched a white-face drag-flicking stick.
Actually, that came from one of our athletes. There's a brand that was Hertzberger.
Osaka were kind enough to send me one of their new white-face sticks, after much badgering from interviewing Stephen on my Brand Pitch podcast. Now, this stick was brought to Osaka by Hertzberger after he had tried another white-face stick and thought it would be a great product for Osaka to launch. This is an extreme Lowbow stick with the maximum bow point 200mm from the head of the stick and a maximum bow of 25mm. The stick also features a groove in the shaft to aid with drag flicking and the white face to add deception. This is a high carbon content stick with a 98% carbon composition. The stick that I got weighed in at 524 grams and it has a balance point 38 centimeters from the head of the stick. When it comes to feel on the ball, this is a really responsive stick. Because it's got the groove in the shaft, the bow is a little more gentle, so it gives you a nice angle to the face for dribbling the ball. It's also got a great textured face for receiving the ball, and the texture runs all the way up to the top of the white. So you get great contact on the ball and great grip when dribbling around or just trapping. The shaping is really nice as well for picking up the ball and dribbling around. You can keep the ball glued to the head of the stick because of that grippy face, and keep the ball under control. When it comes to hitting, the stick is fantastic. The angle of the face is absolutely great for getting control of the ball and keeping it flat when hitting. Because it's got that gentle bow, the face angle's not so extreme that it always bobbles when you're hitting, unless you get your hands over the ball. But obviously it still is an extreme Lowbow profile, so it is something you have to take into account. When it comes to picking up spots and shooting, it is very easy to get under the ball. As I say, it is an extreme Lowbow profile. So if you let the ball get a little bit in front of you and then hit it, it is always going to lift, so it's fantastic for shooting at goal. The stick is also fantastic for slap hitting. Because of the groove in the face, you do have to hit a little bit lower down close to the hook of the stick, but the power transfer is fantastic, and if you want to, you can utilise the bow and the groove in the shaft to play slider passes, so you can whip through the ball and generate a great deal of power on your slap passes, as well as a bit of deception. On reverse, the reverse edge is really thick. Because of the groove in the face, they've reinforced this edge, which gives you a really nice square connection point, and so you can keep the ball under control, and it makes it fantastic for hitting through the middle of the ball on reverse and keeping it flat. Or you can hit just under the middle. Because the edge is so thick, you get a really nice connection point, and it's great for keeping the ball under control. So if you're wanting to find top corners, this is a great stick for hitting reverses with. Because of the high carbon content, obviously it has a huge power transfer. Because of that, it is entirely down to you how much swing speed you put through the ball. Everything that you put behind it is going to get transferred onto the ball because of that high stiffness. This is especially true when hitting on reverse. Because of the construction of the stick, when you're hitting on the edge, you get a much more weighty connection through a narrow edge, so you get a much higher power output. Obviously this is an extreme Lowbow stick, so it is designed to be good at flicking. Because of that, once you get under the ball, it's very easy to control the ball when it's in the air. Once you get it onto the face of the stick, that touch compound holds it in place fantastically and gives you great confidence with any precision movements that you want to make in the air. Whether that's lifting the ball just over a stick, playing a lifted pass into space for a teammate, or if you're taking on a shot at goal and want to lift high into the goal. If you are taking on a shot at goal, you can also utilise the groove in the shaft to add power. So you only have to motivate the ball a little way up the shaft before you can utilise that bow to add extra whip when you're releasing the ball, which is especially good when you're shooting, but you can also use that if you're playing a lifted pass into space to give it an extra bit of zip to make sure that it gets to your teammate. Because of the face angle, it's not as easy as with some extreme Lowbow profiles to get under the ball, but because of that grippy touch compound, once you are under the ball, it gives you absolute confidence in where you're placing the ball. When it comes to overheads, this stick is equally good. The extreme Lowbow profile lets you get under the ball And the Grippy Touch compound again holds the ball on the face and gives you great confidence in your accuracy. Again, like with flicking, you can utilize the bow and that groove in the shaft to add power onto your overheads, so you can effortlessly chuck the ball 50-60 meters down the pitch with confidence that it's going to land on your teammate's stick. The touch compound on the face also gives you great control over the angle at which you're throwing the overhead, so you can either throw it very, very high and have it drop down directly onto your teammate's stick, or you can throw it low and add more distance, but the ball will then carry and your teammate will have to run to it. Because of how grippy the touch compound is, if you are utilizing the bow and the groove in the shaft, it will also add a little bit of spin onto the ball, so it can cause the ball to bounce off to the right when it lands. As long as you're aware of this, you can adjust your trajectory a little bit and make sure it lands in your teammate's path. Drag flicking is obviously what this stick is designed to do. It's got the white face to aid with deception, so it's going to buy you an extra split second at the top of the D where the goalkeeper won't be able to read the direction of the ball. Obviously that's only true if you're using a white ball. It doesn't add anything if you're using a different coloured ball like a pink or a yellow. It might even make it slightly easier for the goalkeeper to read. Well, when it comes to actual drag flicking, I found this stick to be fantastic. The Grippy Touch compound made picking the ball up a dream. Even if there was a little mistrap or still some spin on the ball, I had great confidence that I was going to be able to pick the ball up in stride without losing control of it. The touch compound then helps to guide the ball up into the groove in the shaft. Because that Grippy Touch compound runs all the way up to the Osaka logo on the front of the stick, you've always got great composure in keeping the ball under control, knowing that you can whip through the ball and it's not going to spin off uncontrollably. It might actually add a little bit of spin onto the ball, which makes it harder for goalkeepers to pick up. Once you do get the ball rolling back down the stick, the groove keeps it controlled on the face of the stick fantastically, aided by that Grippy Touch compound, keeping the ball in contact with the stick all the way down, letting you add as much power as you can onto the ball before it gets to the head of the stick, where it slows down just for a split second to give you a great deal of accuracy, so you can fire the ball into the corners of the goal. So I really like this stick. I actually swapped over to this as my main stick between reviews. I really like the combined usability of the more gentle Lowbow profile, combined with the groove give you that extreme edge when drag flicking. So you get a lot of benefits of the softer bow in terms of hitting and control, keeping the ball on the end of the stick while dribbling, as well as that massive whip through from the groove when it comes to drag flicking at goal. So you get all the benefits of a massive extreme bow profile with a really aggressive bow. But when you're on the ball and shooting at goal and trying to keep the ball flat or playing hit passes to teammates, you have that gentle bow and that nice face angle to keep the ball under control. And on top of that, you've also got that fantastic reverse edge, which gives you such confidence when taking on reverse stick shots. And obviously this stick is fantastic for drag flicking. It almost goes without saying that this is a really nice profile for an all-rounder. So I absolutely recommend this stick. It is fantastic. There is a reason why Hertzberger wanted this stick to be made, and I think he is 100% right. This stick is absolutely great. Thank you very much for watching. If you do want to support, leave a like and a comment on this video, subscribe to the channel. If you do want to support further, you can support me on Patreon or bossfhockey.com by joining the Boss F Hockey Club. It's a small monthly amount. It goes towards covering things like pitch costs and running giveaways. You can also join for free, but you won't get any of the benefits like the early access, the entry into giveaways and things like that, but it will keep you up to date on what's going on with Boss F Hockey. If you want to, I have got some Boss F Hockey t-shirts and grips available on my website as well, which is bossfhockey.com/shop. Leave a comment below saying what stick you'd like me to review next, and as always, thank you very much for watching.